Greetings, my name is Mark Amar Pinkham, and I am Director of the Order and Mystery School of the Seven Rays. I'll be your host during this presentation on We Are All Pleiadians. Our sun is the 8th star of the Pleaides. Now, we in the Order and Mystery School of the Seven Rays are dedicated to bringing you complete and easy to understand video presentations such as this one that as accurately as possible reveal the true history of the human race on Earth, much or most of which has been hidden. If you would like to be alerted of the new videos we produce, please click on the subscribe button below. In this video, I will reveal to you how we on Earth are and always have been Pleiadians. First of all humans on Earth have been Pleiadians because our sun revolves around Alcyon, the central star of the Pleiadian star group. It completes its revolution around Alcyon every 26,000 years, which is a cycle that corresponds to the precession of the equinoxes and its never-ending succession of 2,000-year-long ages. Our sun is now on the cusp of the sign of Aquarius, and we are now beginning to feel the effects of the new age of Aquarius. Now, the ancient Mayans are recognized for being some of the best astronomers and calendar makers that have ever existed. From their nightly observations, they discovered that our sun is indeed part of the Pleiadian star group, and they refer to it as the 8th major star of the Pleaides. The Mayans also contend that they are descended from the ancient Pleiadians who visited our planet in the distant past, so they are likely to have also learned of our sun's position as part of the Pleiades directly from their ancestors. The founders and mystics of the Theosophical Society also knew that our sun was a star of the Pleiades. While residing in Shagatsi, Tibet, some of the ascended masters who assisted Madame Blavatsky in founding the Theosophical Society, including Master Morya, Katumi, and Dwal Kul, made frequent trips to Shambhala through a tunnel system that united Shambhala with Shagatsi. While visiting Shambhala, the heart chakra of the world, they learned ancient wisdom regarding the Sun-Pleiades connection that had apparently been passed down from the Pleiadians that had anciently founded Shambhala. One of these Pleiadians was Sanat Kumara, the ancient king of the world, who founded the lineage of monarchs who currently sit upon the throne of Shambhala in its innermost city of Kalapa. The importance of the Pleiades and the theology, cosmology, and metaphysics of Earth can not be overstated. The Egyptian Gnostics told a legend that claimed that the star group came into manifestation when the universal goddess Sophia became lost in the higher dimensional universe she was living in, which is known as the Pleroma, the fullness of God. Instead of finding her way home, she decided to make a physical replica of the Pleroma. She began by creating the Pleaides, and then from her seat in the Seven Sisters, Sophia created our galaxy. In the Bible, the Pleiades are known as the 7 candles before the throne of God. The throne of God is a name for the Pleroma. And the Pleiades today serve as a portal to that higher dimensional universe. Many of the ancient cultures have portrayed Goddess Sophia and the 7 stars of the Pleiades as a great created dragon that has 7 heads, tails, and curves to its body. The cosmologists of the Kichi Maya tribe portrayed the 7 stars of the Pleiadian dragon as 7 angels that composed the massive body of Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent that moved upon the cosmic waters of outer space. Echoing the Mayans, Genesis in the Bible refers to these 7 angels as the Elohim creators that moved upon the face of the waters, and together they created the universe. The cultures of the Far East have called the cosmic dragon of the Pleiades Makara, the water dragon. Makara is typically portrayed as a water dragon that is ridden upon by various gods and goddesses. The legends of the Egyptian Gnostics maintain that at some point in time, Sophia decided that her children on earth deserved to know their divine nature. They deserved to know that God exists within them as them. So she sent her first son in an entourage of Pleiadians to earth in order to reveal this wisdom to humanity. By their many names, the 7 stars of the Pleiades are known as Sophia's 7 sons, as well as the 7 Kumaras, as well as also the 7 archangels. On this slide are 2 Pleiadian images of Sophia's first son, Sanat Kumara, who is also known as Kartikeya, which is a name which means son of the Pleiades. The one on the left shows him with 6 heads. This represents that Sanat Kumara was both the first son of Sophia, as well as the synthesis of all her 7 sons. His 6 heads are those of his 6 brothers, and collectively those 6 heads unite as a 7th head, which is the head of Sanat Kumara. Knowing that the 7 stars of the Pleiades are collectively both Sophia and her first son, Hindu astrologers alternately refer to the Pleiades as Kritika, which is a name of the universal goddess, as well as Kartik, which is a version of the name Kartikeya. The image on the right is Sanat Kumara in his form of a member of the Pleiadian Star Race, whose features include blonde hair, blue eyes, and fair skin. In this slide, we again see Sanat Kumara riding upon a peacock. To the right of him is a symbolic image of Tausi Malek, the Peacock Angel of the Yazidis of northern Iraq. Thus, among the Hindus, Sophia's son is a boy who rides on a peacock, and among the Yazidis, he is solely a peacock. Notice in the Yazidi symbolic icon that the Peacock Angel has 7 red feathers emerging from his blue body. These represent the 7 great angels that he is the synthesis of. The circle containing a cross that he stands upon represents the earth that he landed upon after arriving from the Pleiades. The Yazidis claim that one of the missions of the Peacock Angel was to give Earth color and life. So he arrived on our planet as a huge peacock that completely covered our Earth with its feathers. The feathers were etheric, and when they crystallized, they became all the colorful forms of nature. Then, to give the Earth life and a program of evolutionary unfoldment, the Peacock Angel transmitted his spirit into our Earth and became the Planetary Logos, the mind and will of Earth, which by another name is King of the World. It is thus the Peacock Angel's will that reigns supreme on Earth, and this is reflected in everything that occurs on the surface of our planet, including all the actions of humans. Now, this slide shows Sophia's son as he was known by many cultures as the King of the World. You can see Sanat Kumara and the Peacock Angel on their thrones in the top left. And also on the top row after them is the Greek Dionysus on his throne and the Egyptian Osiris on his throne. On the bottom row is the Hopis King of the World, Masao, followed by the Sumerian King Enki and the Jewish king Melchizedek. So these are all different forms of the same one Pleiadian son that came to this planet and became the king of the world. When the Peacock Angel merged with Earth and became its spirit, our planet then became his physical body. He then inherited Earth's etheric body of ley lines that comprise the planetary grid. The intersections of the grid, which are the vortexes and chakras of Earth, became places where the power and presence of the King of the World had become especially strong. Over them have been built thrones and courts for our monarch. Over the crown chakra of Earth, the Pleiadians shaped a huge mountain into a gigantic Shiva lingam. And today this mountain is known as Mount Kailash, the crystal mountain, and it resides in Tibet. Its Shiva lingam shape unites symbols of the universal male and female principles that unite to produce life force. And then this power is amplified by the mountain's crystalline structure. The resultant power generated by Mount Kailash moves throughout the planetary grid to give nourishing life force to all the life forms that cover Earth. The images on the left show the Shiva lingam form of Mount Kailash, and below it is a gigantic Om symbol that the Pleiadians carved into it. Now, after shaping Mount Kailash, the Pleiadians traveled to the opposite end of Earth's spine and built a temple city over our planet's strongest power center, which is its root chakra, which, of course, is also the home of our planet's evolutionary force of Kundalini. This city became known as Pleiades, and the principal court and seat of power of Sanat Kumara. The energy it generates also moves throughout the entire planetary grid to both nourish all life forms on Earth as well as to evolve them. Today, the city of Sedona rests upon its foundations. On the right of the slide are two of the more outstanding images that the Pleiadians constructed in Pleiades and still survive in the city of Sedona. Now, very soon after arriving on Earth, Sanat Kumara's entourage mated with the women on Earth, and their union is referred to in the Bible as the sons of God who mated with the daughters of men. Their union spiritualized Earth humans and gave them many of the physical features of their star progenitors. The result of the Pleiadian union with the Earth women spawned many of our Earth's earliest tribes, and this included the Lemurians, who today are the Polynesians, as well as the tribes of the Hopis and Tibetans, who were one tribe on Lemuria. It also includes the Atlanteans, whom legends say were the product of the sexual union of King Neptune with the 7 sisters of the Pleiades. Other early tribes spawned the Pleiadian tribes of the Mayans and the Cherokee, the Cree, and the Lakota Native Americans. Because of the planetary interbreeding that has occurred since the initial union between the Pleiadians and Earth women, every single human on Earth now possesses at least a small portion of Pleiadian DNA, and thus we can all claim a Pleiadian heritage. This means that we are all Pleiadians by 2 counts, by having the sun be the 8th star of the Pleiades, but also by possessing some Pleiadian DNA, and therefore being descended from the earliest Pleiadians. Our descent from the Pleiadians was known by among many of the early cultures who identified humanity's celestial home as the Pleaides. And it also became known that on the night of October 31st, the souls who had died during the previous year would leave their graves and fly up straight up to the Pleaides, which at midnight was directly overhead. Some believed that along the way, some of these disembodied souls would pause on Earth long to create a bit of mischief. And this belief evolved into the modern celebration of Halloween and its very popular rite of trick or treat. In some texts, such as the Book of Enoch, it is said that the sons of God taught the daughters of men alchemy. Now, alchemical practices were brought from the Pleiades by Sanat Kumara and his entourage in order to evolve humans by awakening the evolutionary force of Kundalini at the base of the human spine. Once awakened, this power rises up from the root chakra to the top of the head, while awakening the centers of wisdom or chakras within humans that inform us that we are all sparks of God that have incarnated in physical bodies. They reveal that our underlying and essential nature is the pure I am consciousness of God, while at the same time giving us the powers and abilities of gods and goddesses. These alchemical practices from the Pleiades have been called the Gnostic alchemical path, or the path of the dragon, as well as the Siddhamarg, the path to perfection. And what they lead to is known as God realization, which is the inner realization that I am God. Now, in order to preserve, protect, and disseminate these alchemical practices, Sanat Kumara and his Kumara brothers founded the Order of the Seven Rays, which later became known by its more common name of the Great White Brotherhood. The Seven Rays, in the name Order of the Seven Rays, refers to the seven stars of the Pleiades. It also refers to the seven rays, so part of the cosmic dragon that created the universe, as well as the seven Kumaras and the seven archangels. Now, besides teaching humanity the Siddhamarg, or path of the dragon, the Pleiadians have been continuously sending missionaries to Earth to uplift and enlighten humanity. This they do because we are their brothers and sisters, and they feel a familial responsibility to assist us here on Earth in achieving enlightenment. Those Pleiadians who have come to Earth as saviors of humanity, they come at the beginning of they come at the beginning of end or long ages of time that they've been known as the avatars. The first avatars were the Kumaras. They were later followed by Sri Krishna, who lived during the Dwapara Yuga, and much later by Jesus and John the Baptist, who took up birth at the beginning of the age of Pisces. Sri Krishna revealed his Pleiadian heritage by being born with the moon and ascendant of his astrological chart in the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of the celestial bull sun who carries his mother, the Pleaides, Sophia, on his back. During Krishna's life, the gopis, or milkmaids, who were both mothers and lovers to him, represented the seven sisters of the Pleiades. Buddha revealed his affiliation to the Pleiades by being born into a branch of the Scythians known as the Shakas, who had originated from the area of Mount Kailash and were directly descended from the Pleiadians who remained there after constructing Mount Kailash. Both Jesus and John the Baptist were incarnations of two of the original Kumaras, Sananda and Sanat Kumara. John the Baptist has been said to be an incarnation of the prophet Elijah, whose Arabic name is Al-Qadir. And Al-Qadir is one of the names of Sanat Kumara. The Pleiadian avatar on Earth, the current Pleiadian avatar, is Mata Amritananda Mai Devi, who is also known as simply Amma, the mother. She has taken birth in India at the beginning of the fifth world to prepare us for the new cycle of time. Amma has revealed her Pleiadian connection by being born with her most important Vedic planet, the moon, in the sign Taurus and in the nakshatra or lunar sign of Kritika, which is a name for the Pleiades. Having possessed an infatuation with Krishna since birth, and while considering all humans on Earth her children, she has perfectly reflected the nature of the universal goddess Sophia. Our Pleiadian family has also protected our Earth over millions of years, and this is why Earth and humanity have not been conquered by other star races, even when we have never possessed the technology to protect ourselves against their advanced weaponry. According to Native American prophecy, the fifth world that the Earth is currently moving into will be an age of reunion. The ancient tribes that were once reunited and then split, such as the Hopis and Tibetans, will be reuniting, and we will all eventually become conscious of being part of the same star race. We will all be members of one race, finally, the Pleiadian Star Race. Carved into a rock on the Hopi Reservation is a starship that represents the star people who anciently came to Earth and became the ancestors of the Hopis, as well as the star people who are returning now at the beginning of the fifth world. The ship represents the arrival and return of both the Pleiadians and Venusians, who are of the same Pleiadian star race. This is because the Venusians are descended from the first Pleiadians that came to uplift humanity and then founded a colony on Venus. This is why you find Sanat Kumara called both Lord of Venus and King of the Earth. It's predicted that the Pleiadians will first return to the tribes that they directly spawned hundreds and perhaps even millions of years ago. They will also return to those ancient cities they built, including Pleiades, the temple city Sedona now sits upon. Their return began in the 1970s when the night sky over the Hopi Reservation were lit up with spacecrafts and when many starships were also spotted over Sedona. Another part of the prediction regarding the fifth world relates to the king of the world, Sanat Kumara, who the Hopis know as Masao. Our planetary monarch will again make his interdimensional presence known to the population of Earth, beginning with the rediscovery of his two original cohorts of Mount Kailash and Sedona, followed by his cohorts at Giza, Egypt, Mount Shasta in California, Pleaides in northern Iraq, and many other vortex areas. Those humans who are blessed with psychic vision will be able to envision his interdimensional cohorts in the imperial cities that surround them. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this video. Please visit our website. It's at the below at the bottom of your screen there. And check out the courses and books we offer that cover Earth's ancient history and the Pleiadians, the Kumaras, and the alchemical path of the dragon that was brought to Earth by the Pleiadians. And if you are inspired, please watch some more of our other videos that are featured on YouTube. And also consider taking a City of the Star People tour in Sedona in order to see the remains of Pleiades that, as you have learned, was built by the Pleiadians that Sedona now sits upon. Now, during the City of Star People tour, you'll learn much more of the history of the Pleiadians and Pleiades that was not presented in this video. Information about the City of the Star People tours is also on our 7rightorder.com website. So once again, thank you for watching. Namaste.